Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. I'm Resti Azizah. I'm from Tiba AC. In this video, I will comment some video debate. Let's enjoy. Okay, we can start in this first speaker. The attention getter from the speaker start by stating their preventing gender pronoun and expressing their desire to be referred to as prime minister. And for the background, the speaker expresses regret over the usage of national referendums in making political decisions. They argue about they argue that referendums can be manipulated and targeted towards those with low knowledge or information on the issue at hand. And for argument, the speaker, the main argument presented is that a representative system is preferable for making major political decisions. The speaker states the politicians who are elected by citizens through referendums possess more knowledge and expertise to making informed decisions. They also argue that representative systems allow for quicker decision making and avoid divisive conflict among voters. And for the evidence, the speaker provides example to support their argument. They mention taxes as an example of an important decision that should be made through a representative system. A citizen may be inclined to avoid paying taxes if they had the opportunity to vote on them. They also mentioned the rejection of peace treaty in Colombia, suggesting that a referendum can lead to poor outcomes due to the lack of understanding among the general population. Then we continue to the next speaker from the first speaker from the opposite team. The attention getter from the speaker is that the speaker start by rebutting some arguments for the proposition teams, specifically addressing the claim that citizens have little knowledge and the potential for provocation. And for the background, the speaker establishes the current status quo, stating that national referendums are being used to address certain issues in some countries and can be a necessary alternative for political decisions making in specific circumstances. And for the arguments, the speaker have two arguments. The main arguments presented are the point one. The speaker argues that there are cases where the government should not have full responsibility for decisions such as decisions concerning the country's own governance system. And point two, the speaker emphasizes that society plays a crucial role in the nation and should have the right to participate in political decisions making. They argue that that by providing more education and information, society can make informed choice and their voice should be heard. And for arguments, and for evidence, the speaker provide example to support their arguments. They mention the use of referendums in Turkey to change the constitution, the referendum on abortion in Ireland, and the resolution of internal divisions within the UK Labour Party through a referendum. Next, we continue to the second speaker from the government team. The attention getter from the speaker start by expressing their regret regarding the use of national referendums for political decisions making. The background, the speaker briefly explained their perspective on the limitation of national referendums and questions the notion that people today, despite having more access to information, are less influenced or swayed. And for argument, the main argument presented is that referendums are not suitable for making sensitive political decisions that can significantly impact a country, region, or the world. The speaker argues that while referendums may reflect people's opinions, they are not effective in making such crucial decisions. And for evidence, the speaker provides example to support their argument, mentioning the hypothetical scenario holding a referendum in 1930 or early 50 Japan regarding war with the US or the West, and stating that the masses will likely vote in favor of war. Okay, we next to the second speaker from the opposite team. The interrogator, the speaker start by questioning the concern raised by the government team about national referendums being prone to manipulation and provocation. The highlight that the same concern exists in representative systems and question the difference between referendums and general election. And for the background, the speaker briefly addresses the efficiency argument made by the government team, suggesting that the time taken for referendums is justified as it allows for better preparation and education of citizens. And for the rebuttal, the speaker responds to the concern raised by the government team by highlighting that national referendums can prevent long-term problems and conflicts. They provide the example of South Sudan's independence referendum in 2011, which helped resolve a prolonged civil war and brought an end to the conflict. And for the argument, the speaker presents their second argument, stating that national referendum results are more acceptable to the people regardless of the consequence. They argue that when people make their own decisions through referendums, they take responsibility for the outcomes and accept them even if there are negative consequences. Okay, next we go to the third speaker from the government team. The interrogator, the speaker start by clarifying the issues and presenting the perspectives of both the government and opposite team. They emphasize that citizens' voice can be heard through demonstrations, but argue that on their side of the house, the government's role is to make citizens happy. And for the background, the speaker briefly mentions the opposition team response to their arguments and highlights the importance of considering the potential cause and conflict that could arise from national referendums. And for the argument, the speaker addresses the main classes in the debate, focusing on the impact of referendums and the vulnerability of citizens in making political decisions. They argue that the citizen may lack the necessary information or education to make informed choice, and that aligning decisions with personal belief can overlook crucial factors crucial factors. And for the evidence, the speaker argues the referendums can create disagreements and tensions among the population, dividing the citizen into opposing sides and potentially leading to protests and conflict. They counter the opposing teams' argument about satisfaction by stating that no matter the outcome, there will always be people who are dissatisfied. Okay, next third speaker from the opposite team, the interrogator. The speakers start by announcing themselves as the third speaker of the opposition teams and states that they will split their speech parts into two parts, rebuttal and summary. For the rebuttal, the speaker addresses the points made by the first preposition speaker. They counter the argument that referendums can be targeted for provocation, pointing out the representative can also be swayed and provoked. The speaker argues the people can be well informed through campaigning, using the example of the abortion referendum in Ireland. They also challenge the idea that relying on experts eliminates conflict, citing the example of the UK 1975 referendum where professionals within the ruling party had differing opinions. Lastly, the speaker countered the claim that referendums caused chaos by highlighting the case of Myanmar, where the absence of a referendum led to a coup d'etat, and Sudan, where a referendum helped stop wars. And the third speaker gave the summary. The speaker concludes by summarizing the opposition stance. They argue the referendums are a necessary form of democracy in certain circumstances, such as constitutional change, government divisions, controversial topics, or fight for independence. Uh, democracy, independence and democracy. For evidence, the evidence provided in the text includes examples such as the abortion referendum in Ireland, the division within the UK ruling party in the 1975 referendum, the absence of a referendum in Myanmar leading to a cup and the referendum in Sudan helping to stop wars. The examples serve to support the speaker's arguments and demonstrate the effectiveness of referendums is in various situations. I think that's all for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.